Football is back, man. Welcome to Thursday Night Football, the first official start of the NFL regular season. It's your boy Jason, aka the Lock Talk, and I'm here to break down this first game of the NFL, Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get to it, man. Let's start talking about it. So right behind me, obviously, you see the matchup. Start the first game, and they gave us a first game that's an absolute banger. This is basically a rematch of that championship game for the conference, the Ravens against the Chiefs. Chiefs got the better of them. Obviously, they are the Super Bowl winners of last year. And I'll be honest, man, it was kind of the Ravens' game to lose. Like, the Ravens were playing extremely well, but Mahomes and the Chiefs do what they do, man. They came back, showed the world why they're a championship level team, really clutched down. Their defense did very well, but I will say the Ravens did not play the game they should have been playing. I mean, the Ravens last year especially were the superior rushing offense for sure. I mean, Lamar Jackson, even Gus Edwards, that offensive line was pretty good. And they had a pretty good defense as well. So they, for some reason, just didn't rush the ball as much as they should. They were passing the ball a lot. Lamar Jackson wasn't running on his own either. So we'll see what they do in this game. Obviously, there's some changes in this series or in this season versus last season. Big one in terms of a headline is the Ravens have Derrick Henry, one of the most prolific rushing attacks, running backs, maybe not just our generation, but of all time. I mean, the guy is an absolute unit. He gave promise to KC when he was in the Titans, but KC would still beat the Titans. He's on a much better team, in my opinion, now with Lamar, who's maybe one of the top quarterbacks, if not the top quarterback of this upcoming season. But let's go break it down, man. So the one thing I want to say is I do have a few notes that I do want to mention. The Chiefs, they're not the same team as they were last year. They did lose some defensive players, but they did, I think, pick up a few other ones that were good. The Chiefs should, I guess, in my opinion, be a little bit better against the run, maybe. The one thing I will say is that, the Ravens, we'll see what type of attack they come in with this year, right? Obviously, Lamar could run the ball. They have Derrick Henry now, but I don't think, based off the ratings of last year, Derrick Henry is a better running back. I'm not saying he's not better than Gus Edwards, but I mean, he's not like a massive step up, like a drastic level where like now the Ravens rush offense should be like a new level above. That's the expectation though for most people, but in my opinion, from the data I looked at, that's not really the case. I think he will definitely be a step up, but we'll see what they do in this game. But I think simply the key to this game is the Ravens need to run the ball, and they need to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands as long as possible. This is a constant theme that no team is able to crack. The Chiefs are more than happy to let you run down the ball, get a field goal, and then that's it. The Chiefs have a really good pass defense, and they still do to a certain extent, man. I mean, but, the one thing I will say that is a big difference, a big key difference in this game, and I don't know if you can see it here, but I don't think we can see it here. But the one thing I will say that's not reflected in the data or in these numbers that are in the screens behind me is that the Ravens actually did lose some big offensive linemen. I mean, 3 of the guys ain't coming back. So we'll see, even with the boost of Derrick Henry and maybe, I don't know, Lamar Jackson's newfound motivation to run the ball more, be more active, maybe we'll see. They don't have the same protection as they did last year. For some reason, from all the people I've spoken to and other analysis that I've seen on my own, just to see what other people are thinking, I don't see too many people talking about this that much. But obviously, look, they have Derrick Henry. We'll see how much better he'll do. Obviously, the Chiefs have seen him before many, many times, especially when he was in the Titans. So it's not like they're super unfamiliar with him. And I also think Spagnuolo will have a game plan to kind of handle this dual threat. The one thing I will say that I think could be an X factor is that Derrick Henry can throw the ball. I mean, if you guys remember when he was on the Titans, he would throw, by the goal line like a throwing pass, touchdown many, many times because people are so concerned with him just rushing in, given how big he is and scoring a touchdown, that it opens up passing opportunities that he's been able to capitalize on. I don't know how. Maybe they'll incorporate that with Lamar Jackson and how good he is at running. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement Derrick Henry. But, obviously that offensive line is not that great this time around for the Ravens. So in this game, let's take a look at kind of where the spread is and where the total's at. So Baltimore are dogs, rightfully so. Plus 130 on the road, plus 3 spread. I've seen the line go. I mean, maybe we could see go to 3.5, 2.5. I think 3 is a fair line. Chiefs should rightfully be the favorite. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, we take a look at all the games, right? The Kansas City Chiefs will be getting their, I guess, it'll be their whole ceremony for winning the championship. Obviously, the storyline is, if you talk to a lot of people that are in the industry or follow the football, narrative, Ravens are looking for revenge in this game. They got beat in the championship game. This could have been them. They could have been winning it. And even in other sports, you see sometimes there's like the Super Bowl hangover where a team wins, they have the ring ceremony, whatever ceremony they have to start off the NFL season, and they don't play as well on the first game. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be 100% the case. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are definitely motivated to win. A team like the Baltimore Ravens, I believe, will probably get them up to be like, okay, we need to really step it up on the first game. Same thing with Baltimore. They're obviously not going to take this game lightly. They lost to them, so I'm in agreement that there was some type of revenge factor to a certain extent. But no matter what, man, it's the first game in the NFL season. I don't think any team's like, oh, we're going to take a break, right? Especially when the other team is a really, really good marquee team. You play on Thursday Night Football. It's the first game of the NFL season. All eyes will be on each other, right? With that being said, though, I do think, if I had to pick a side, I don't know. For the things I just said, I do think the Chiefs have an advantage, man. I mean, even with the whole narrative, I don't know how to even incorporate that in the numbers. It's really hard to cap that. People are favoring the Ravens for that reason. But, I mean, look, I think Mahomes, he always makes it work, right? I think they're going to use Pacheco more often. They don't have, I believe, McKinnon, and I'm forgetting the other guy off the top of my head. But Pacheco will be the main running back, so I think we're going to see a lot more usage from him. We've also seen a lot of tape on him getting passes, so we'll see. They probably still incorporate him in the passing and the rushing in many, many factors. I mean, the Chiefs, Mahomes can make anyone good. He's kind of like Tom Brady. He'll make a nobody into somebody just because of who he is, right? Of course, he had some great other guys to support him, like Kelsey, probably the best tight end in the league. But I do think, Mahomes, given the Ravens defense is, obviously pretty strong, I think he's still going to find a way to get through him, bro. But, do I want to lay 3 points with the Chiefs in the whole game? I think, it's a fair line. I don't really see an edge either way. I do think, however, the Chiefs might be able to edge it out. I do think that their defense actually has, even though they lost a few guys, is just as good as last year. And I think because Baltimore's offensive line isn't as good as last year, in my opinion, we'll see. We'll find out. I think they're going to pressure Baltimore. They're going to pressure Lamar. And Derrick Henry may not have the ability to run as most people expect him to, but we'll see. On the other side, though, I do think the Ravens can do enough, just like last year, to limit the chances for Mahomes. I do think maybe this whole narrative of, the Super Bowl hangover, things like that, maybe they won't be able to move the ball down as well. I think the Baltimore Ravens will definitely play with some ferocious defense. They know what the Chiefs are going to do, man. I mean, they're obviously going to run it with Pacheco, but they're going to take some short shots. They're going to march down the field, and Mahomes is going to use that arm and his savviness to, continue to run down the clock or just get some points on the board very easily. In my opinion, I think the Ravens will have to do what they got to do, and that's run the ball, drain that clock, and really keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. This is the key to beating Mahomes every time. Obviously, it's much harder to do than what I'm saying. Obviously, the Chiefs have a really good pressure defense. They will cause problems for Lamar. But with that being said, I do kind of favor the under. I know it's the first game. You expect, fireworks to happen, but I think both defenses are good enough. I don't think Lamar and that offense will be able to prolifically just run through the Chiefs and their defense. I think that offensive line may have some trouble here and there. Derrick Henry will be able to run the ball, but they will try to run this ball as much as they can. They'll try to limit Chiefs having big downs and big scoring opportunities. And as a result, I think we can see an under on 46.5. So if I was to look, we take a look at some of their offensive defensive stats from last year. Obviously, this is last year, right? But we take a look at, the scoring. I mean, they're number 1 and 2, bro, and on the defensive side. I don't see any reason why their rating goes down dramatically. Obviously, we'll find out. It's the first game in the NFL season. I suggest don't go super crazy. Don't go wild. I mean, this is literally the first game on the NFL season. We'll see what happens, though. And also, let me see if I could see anything else. Nope, we can't move this up. But yeah, man, if I was to make some plays in this game, besides the props, which I unfortunately cannot give here because I'm probably going to make these all premium, I'm leaning with the Chiefs and the under in this game. But would I be surprised if the Baltimore Ravens end up winning this game? No, I think maybe, if anything, the Ravens maybe could get like the first quarter, first half with their rush. Maybe especially if they get the ball first, they might get the first few points on the board. You could probably get the first quarter, maybe at the plus a half. And then if they tie, you still win on the Baltimore Ravens. I also don't mind the first half spread for the Ravens. I think the Ravens will come out quick and fast and try to make a statement. And then at the end, the Chiefs will make adjustments and maybe, edge out a win, whether they cover or not. I think 3 is a really tough number. If you snag a 2.5, obviously get the Chiefs. If it goes to 3.5, get the Ravens. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I think the 3 number is like the right line. Vegas has a really sharp line on this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if either team won. I really do think it's a toss-up. I wouldn't lay 150 on the money line with KC. But, if you want to take a shot at the Ravens and you think they're going to win, I do think they have a chance in maybe a possibly low-scoring affair. So again, guys, thank you so much for tapping in. This is my first NFL breakdown here on YouTube. There's a lot more to come. But yeah, man, let's start the year off right. If you guys do want to tap in for the NFL plays, I am giving out the premium on top of WNBA, MLB, and UFC this week. Make sure you tap into premium or shoot me a DM. And I'll see you guys over there.